Knights were some of the fiercest warriors ever, with their large weapons, valiant horses, and the drive to defend the kingdom. It would be an honor to receive the title of knight, but it's not just handed to you. You must undergo a series of tests to go up in rank. Once you show that you are worthy, you will be bestowed with the title of knight.
The first stage on the road to knighthood is to be a page. The life of a castle page would start at a very young age, 7 years old. A page was junior to a squire. It was the duty of a page to wait at tables, care for the lord's clothes, and assist them in dressing. The page was provided with a uniform of the colors and livery of the lord. These young boys received an education and were taught religion, manners, writing, hunting, hawking, and strategic games such as backgammon and chess. A page would start to acquire skills required of a knight by practicing the skills of tilting a lance. A target was erect, and the page would mount a wooden horse on wheels holding a lance. The wooden horse would be pulled along by 2 other pages towards the target, and the page would aim the lance. Swordplay was practiced using wooden swords and shields. Fighting on piggyback was introduced to the young knights to introduce balance skills required in mounted combat.
The role of the medieval squires during the medieval times of the Middle Ages was an important step into achieving status of a knight. The medieval squire was a servant to a knight during the medieval times and era. The Norman predecessor of what came to be known as squire was called armigus. Medieval squires had already served 7 years in the role of a page before moving to the role of a squire at the age of 14 years old. As a page, he was viewed as a boy and looked after by the ladies of the court or castle. Medieval squires were viewed as young men and had reached the age of puberty, their first step towards manhood. The care of the medieval squires moved from the medieval ladies to the knights. This page describes how life of a squire was in medieval times. The word squire is derived from the French words esquire, which originally meant shield bearer. In later years, the term generally moved away from its meaning of apprentice knight and on to mean a country gentleman of some standing.
Next is the knight. It was the duty of a knight to learn how to fight and so serve their lord according to the code of chivalry. The code of chivalry dictated that a knight should be brave and fearless in battle, but would also exhibit cultured knightly qualities, showing themselves to be devout, courteous, and generous. Weapon practice included enhancing skills in two-handed sword, battle axe, mace, dagger, and lance. A knight would be expected to guard the castle and support his liege lord in the medieval welfare. The daily life of a knight in the medieval ages followed a similar schedule to that of his lord or the noble he served. The daily life of a knight during the Middle Ages centered around castles or manors or fighting for his lord and the king during times of war. Much of his time was spent on honing his weapon skills and keeping his levels of fitness high. The daily life of knights can be described as the following. The daily life of a knight started at dawn when mass would be heard and prayers would be made. The first meal of the day for the night was breakfast. Knights would engage in weapon practice at the Quintin and Pele, referred to Pele training. The daily life of the knights would include discussions on warfare strategy and increasing his knowledge of siege warfare and weapons. Mid-morning prayers and a meal came next. As the medieval period progressed, the culture changed, becoming more refined and elegant. Knights were expected to understand the rules of chivalry and courtly love. Time might be spent on dancing practice. In the afternoon, the daily life of knights turned to increasing their skills in horsemanship and would accompany their lord in hunting, hawking, or inspecting the estate. Evening prayer and then supper in the hall of the castle or the manor comes up next. After supper, There might be some entertainment, music, dancing, jugglers, acrobatics, gestures, etc. Then came bedtime prayers.
The end.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.